Hello everyone, welcome to my new Let's Look At Pay2Win. Now I could explain everything to you, but everything's going to be explained to us in the next 5 seconds, so I'm not going to try and talk over it.
I am a game developer. Actually, I'm more of a businessman. My job is to use any tricks necessary to maximize the monetization of free-to-play games. I am not saying free-to-play games are always wrong. Neither am I saying that pay-to-win games are always wrong. However, I believe you, the player, should know on what you're spending your money. You are an educated, very smart person. You always seek the truth, even if it saddens you. This game was created for people like you. This game will not give you more joy than other games because it was not designed to do so. I just wanted to give you a chance to think. Here is your money. Here is a secret of the biz model. The secret will be revealed at the end of this game. Let's begin.
So yes, as the nice developer slash businessman said, this is more of an educational experience than it really is a game. Now that's not to say that you can't enjoy the game. The game does have combat and, you know, generic MMORPG, free-to-play elements to it. I think it's mainly trying to satirize the the free-to-play MMO genre, not the regular MMO genre, but you know, if you've never played an MMORPG that's free to play, pretty accurate depiction. It's a sad thing to say, but it's a pretty accurate depiction. Now, I'm not gonna bash on anybody who does play them. You know, whatever you enjoy playing is fine by me. But this game will show you what the little tricks that they are, or that they use to keep you playing in a little bit of an over-exaggerated way, but not... I played Ion, folks. It's not too off the wall either. But let's get into it instead of just sitting here talking to people. As you can see, it's not exactly meant to be a AAA experience. I mean, the graphics are a little... I mean, they're not bad. They're just not really, you know, AAA quality. And the game plays about like a free-to-play MMO. To a fault sometimes, as you'll see here coming up. You can't talk to everybody. You can talk to certain NPCs if you don't know who to talk to. If you do decide to play this, I believe you hit M for the map key. It'll tell you exactly where to go. The only real, a big drawback of the game is it's not really a game, and it's a pretty small map. Now, that's not to say you can't play the game. You can easily just go around leveling up and doing what have you, but I couldn't possibly do that. And I like the MMO genre. But this game is, as you see, is what you get. Now, the one thing they don't really explain to you is in the top left of the screen. I want to go over this because I had a hell of a time understanding how the buying system worked. Now, rest assured, there's no real money trade. Once you buy the game, I'm pretty sure that's it. Ever. But the game does keep track of how much money you spend once you figure out how to spend it and don't be an idiot like I do. But to be fair, they don't really explain it. So if you do want to use the pay to buy gems, or I forget what the actual currency in game they use is, we'll see in about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm sure, because I'm gonna open it. But the game starts off as a general go kill certain things. I want to make sure what the slash button was. It's just the left mouse button. As you see, we don't even have any abilities yet. Oh boy. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna get into it real quick about the buying thing, before I forget about it. To buy things, you gotta go hold Alt if you're not actually at a store or anything like that, and then go up there and click the plus button on the balance. I didn't know that. It took me a little while to get used to it. Alright, so once you know that, you can really, shall we say, appreciate the games. I don't know why I was trying so darn hard here. I'm pretty sure the point of the game is not the combat, but I wanted to, I wanted to not get hit. So it's 20 years of video games coming back at me, man. If I have a chance to not get hit, I'm gonna try not to get hit. But to be fair, I don't think there's a health system. So I don't really think it matters if you take a whole bunch of hits. Because I think eventually I just got really tired and just said, screw it, I'm just standing in front of everything, and got hit repeatedly. I never did die. I don't know if you can die. You might well be able to, but I was not able to, and I tried my darndest to get killed. So, like I said, if you're really looking for an educational thing, or if you're looking into the psychology of gamers, this is a pretty decent game to play. I wouldn't buy it at full price, but that's just me. But it is a very different look into what makes us gamers tick in MMORPGs, especially free-to-play ones. You know, the ones where you can microtransactions up the wazoo. Trying to think of a workplace-friendly euphemism there, but I don't think I really worked too well. Yes, there's a loot system. The loot system's actually a rather negative. And I think that's intentional, because in MMORPGs, especially free-to-play ones, there's usually microtransactions for inventory space. And if you don't choose to utilize this, well, it's a pain in the butt, to put it nicely. Now, granted, I wasn't exactly at the point when they tried to tell me how to buy it. Well, as I said before, I didn't know how to do it. So I actually had to go through the clunky interface to try and delete items, which I might add is terrible. Because you have to hit on exactly the right spot on the trash can. You can't just drag it over to the trash can. No, you gotta drag it over to the trash can in like a quarter of an inch to the diagonal diagonal left. Why there? I don't know. That's just what you gotta do if you want to discard anything in this game. But again, I think that was more of a development, like, choice. Sorry for the long there, but I was trying to think of the right word there. I try not to fill my spaces with uhs too much. Anyway, I think I went through like 3 or 4 quests, excuse me, until I eventually called it quits for today. I do plan on finishing this game, but I'm certainly not going to make a Let's Play of it. And yeah, there's a little bit of physics shenanigans going on if you want to kick the Avatar, I think his name is. Anyway, as you see, there's not a whole lot of quests. It's not like an actual MMO where you can just go around to the different NPCs and pick up like 5 different side quests. It's not supposed to be that kind of game, as I've went over probably too many times as is. And I don't really want to bore you or spoil a whole lot because, I mean, really, this game's drawing point is its narrative. It's not really about, you know, killing zombies, which, while kind of fun, admittedly. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering about your skills, I don't really find them that useful. I mean, they really went with the whole, that's your number 1 skill right there, that's your number 2 skill. The blue's 2, and yeah. They don't really seem to do as much damage, but I did like the little, it's the same thing, except you didn't really add much. Like in an MMORPG, yeah, the animation's usually different, but it's just different numbers coming up. Don't know if that's supposed to be a poke at that, or if it's just they were a little too, well, busy to implement something of that nature, but this is where I started getting into a bad situation with my inventory. And I'm going to keep it in here, because I imagine that's probably what they intended for you to go through, your inventory woes. But yes, there is grinding. It's an MMORPG free-to-play. I don't want to call it a satire, I guess it kind of is. So yeah, I guess you can call it this. Because, as you know, well, you always get gear you can't use. And you always have that drive in you to, I have to get higher level to have to use this. I have to be able to use it as in my inventory now. And like I said, it's a pretty accurate depiction, because if you actually are trying to play the game through the end, well, you're going to be going through the same things. They did add one specific example, which I'm going to try to get to in this video, that was really just kind of, well, is an over-exaggeration in every sense of the word. I might skip forward here, because I think I go through my inventory woes and didn't realize how to actually go through this. Or wait, that might have been next time, because I think it was a bunch of... I guess that was next quest. Anyway. At least there's one thing. You will never just go, I'm too slow. Like, this game automatically gives you a feather. It's one of the few free things they give you. But, hell, they do give you a plus movement. And you can't really ask for much more than that. In an MMORPG, time is money, after all. It should be said, before you get confused, this is not an MMORPG with other people. This is a single-player thing imitating an MMORPG. If I wasn't clear there, I apologize for the, well, the miscommunication there. So, let me see here. I'm just going to skip ahead here because, well, there's nothing a whole hell of a lot more to add. But I will show a few more of the systems in place here. Never mind, having said that, I realized I was right before one of the big, quest completes. Usually after a quest complete, they give you a little bit of psychology as to why you did what you just did. And it's actually kind of funny if you look at a read and go, huh, you're kind of right. That does work. And the scary part is, it will continue to work. Even if you know the trick, you will keep doing it. But yeah, let's get forward ahead here before we get too bogged down in just reading. Okay, so skip forward past the next quest after I'd finally figured out, the inventory management system, if you even can call it such. Now we've got a quest for, well, this should look familiar to anybody who's ever played an MMORPG. You gotta go farm some stuff. And this time they mean it quite literally. The point here is, once I actually find the guy, you're literally farming. The problem with it is, well, just gotta go drag it in. This is all normal so far. Want to make sure that's the right one. And it's gonna take an hour. You can legitimately wait an hour if you so wish it. I didn't really want to wait an hour while I was making a Let's Look At video. And yes, you have to do that every single one, unless you buy enough for, well, what do you want to call it? So yes, it's a pretty accurate depiction, like I said, of a free-to-play. It reminds me of supplements from Ion, except in Ion it wasn't even a guarantee you were going to get the meld, or whatever it was called in that. It was kind of a gamble either way. Even if you spent real money, it was still a gamble. Fine game, fun game. I don't want to offend anybody who plays Ion. I played it for quite a while myself. But you gotta admit, there's a lot of similarities between the two of them. So yes, I mean, I would imagine by the time you get to the end of the game, I'm gonna look at the amount spent and just go, oh my god. Just because it's one of those incremental things. Because, well, I've already spent $10 on the game. Well, what's another $10 cost, That adds up very, very quickly. So if you'd like to see how much money you can possibly throw, not actual money, but how much money you'd like to throw away, you may want to give Pay2Win a try. Farewell everyone, until next time.